Oh, thank you all so much. Backstage just now, Bernie Larson, who's as Cassidy mentioned, the second half of Ojai Underground. Yeah, an amazing guy. And such an amazing artist. I'm a little intimidated being on this stage, knowing that he's watching me back there, because this guy has played with, you name it, everybody. David Lindley, Jackson Brown, Melissa Etheridge, ran sound for Lynn Crossett. He's moving up in the world. And they've created this amazing venue here, but we were talking about the nature of being a performing artist and the sort of contradiction between, you're, as a performing artist, you're the center of attention, but a lot of people who do this kind of stuff don't necessarily, they're not that comfortable being the center of attention, but you don't write songs so that nobody would ever hear them. You want to be able to perform them for people, and that was really hitting me one day after a show, and I was just feeling so insecure about it, and I really wanted to ask some friends who were there. I was like, did I really mess up as much as I felt like I messed up? And just feeling so insecure, and it was just bugging me how insecure I was. And so what did I do? I went home and I wrote a song called Insecurity. And this one's also on the new record. I guess they say, write what you know, right? Racing thoughts and racing clocks from my internal pillow talk. What I wouldn't give for some sleep. Retrace the steps along the way that made up every single day when everyone seemed so much better than me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. So I'm careful what I think about, or my internal twist and shout, when I'm just trying to put myself to sleep. The questions without answers are holding me for ransom before they'll let me put my mind at ease. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. I step up now to sing my songs like I've done 1,000 times alone when no one was around to judge me. And I step up to the microphone like I've done 1,000 times at home, performing on the stage of my dreams. If only I could remember to breathe. Careful what I think about, or my internal twist and shout, when I'm just trying to put my mind at ease. The questions without answers are holding me for ransom. You'll never see the better part of me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. Friends who tell me that I'm great. Quit your job, don't hesitate. There's only so much time to break free. And ones who politely shake their heads, and they're not placing any bets. Meanwhile, I'm still making it all about me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. So I'm careful what I ask about, 'cause I might not like the answer when I'm just trying to put my mind at ease. And there's not much left to talk about when all your thoughts and all your doubts are playing out as how do they see me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. Well, thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. And helps greatly with my insecurity. All right, well, here's a new song. It's not on the new record. We'll see if it bears any resemblance to Ojai. Not written about Ojai. It's called Nighttime People. They pull out the stops here in this quaint little town. Close all the shops when the sun goes down. There's posters of legends who made the rounds. What I would give to see one now. They're telling wild stories of times gone by, down at the diner over cold home fries. The new coffee shop here, that must make it 9, but no place to drink at midnight. We're nighttime people in a daytime town. Not much to do when the sun goes down. You can drive to the desert and turn out the lights and fly down the highway like you own the night, like you own the night. Maybe we're too late for this town's swan song. After all, we haven't lived here long. They say priorities change as we grow, and we'll be happy staying at home. We'll all be happy here at home. We're nighttime people in a daytime town. Not much to see when the sun goes down. You can drive to the desert and turn out the lights, fly down the highway like you own the night. In the middle of the highway like you own the night. It'll be alright. Oh, thank you so much. glad you guys are nighttime people and you're out here tonight for the show. We got to stick together. This next one's another very new song, and lately it shows I've taken to being one of those people who brings like multiple instruments. I'm a solo artist, right? And so I usually have just played my guitar, and my harmonica is my other band member. But I thought, I sort of play at a mediocre level on several other instruments, so I've started taking the mandolin and the banjo, and then to shows, and I'll feature some songs on those. But I had to fly to this gig, so I'm doing good to be able to bring a guitar and a harmonica. And but this song, the new one, I impulse bought a tenor banjo, actually an Irish tenor banjo, and that I've been playing this new song on that's called Irish Holiday. Running faster now, trying to catch his hand. Feels like you're both running in deep sand. You can see the gate number just up ahead. As you're waking up in the same old bed. You could go away, you could risk it all, an Irish holiday in the fall. You can tell him straight, or you can tell a lie. You got somewhere else to be, you just want to be with him tonight. You could carry on till the morning light, but two selfish wrongs don't make a right. You could go away, you could risk it all, an Irish holiday before you fall. You can make it short, or you can make it long. You can write the words to your own song. You can make some choices guiltlessly. It's not all about supposed to be. You can make a change, you can prove them wrong, an Irish holiday. You can get away, who's to say you're wrong, an Irish holiday on your own. Oh, thank you so much for that. So, I thought I was inventing a phrase there of taking an Irish holiday with that song, and my bright son quickly Googled it and goes, "Oh, Irish holiday, that means getting drunk." I really did not mean it as an Irish slur song. So I live in this little college town just outside of Austin, Texas, called San Marcos. I've been teaching in that town at a place called Texas State University for years. And there's a legendary little music venue in that town called Cheatham Street Warehouse, where the proprietor, Kent Finley, started it in 1974. And he had a real appreciation for songwriting. He's a great songwriter himself. And he would nurture young songwriters. And some very famous people came out of that nurturing, including George Strait and Stevie Ray Vaughan and James McMurtry and Todd Snyder and Lynn Crossett. No, I'm kidding. He passed away before I started hanging out there. But they have these Wednesday nights, songwriters nights, that are just really, amazing. And I live within walking distance of there. And I was leaving one of those one night as a storm was coming in, and our normally raucous little college town was just quiet. There was no one on the streets, and I'm walking along with my guitar, and it wasn't storming yet. The wind was starting to pick up, but it was just eerie that there was just nobody out on the street. It's only like 11 o'clock at night, and man, maybe there is a big storm coming in tonight. So I was just like holding my guitar and walking faster, and I started humming to myself this little tune of like, I better get my ass home before this storm. And before I knew it, in the 15-minute walk home, I had most of this simple little song here that was on my last album. And it's called Get Myself Home. Lights go out on this midnight bar. The smell of you and this old guitar. I back it up and I head for the door. You can't ask for much more than that anymore. Better get myself back home before the coming storm. I don't know that it would be lying if I said it meant that much to me. When the storm comes in and the town shuts down, I'm out here alone. When the storm comes in and the town shuts down, I'm out here walking home. Better get myself back home. I don't know what to expect. I don't act my age, I guess. I watch them spin across the plywood floor like we did so many years before. Better get myself back home before the coming storm. I don't know, but it's not for trying for everything we thought we'd be. When the storm comes in and the town shuts down and I'm always alone. When the storm comes in and the town shuts down, I'm out here walking home. Better get myself back. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. The record that song is on, the one that I put out a couple years ago for this latest one, was my first real, professionally, recorded. I've been writing songs since I was about 20 years old, but didn't have the nerve to actually put myself out there, release a record, and in my late 40s, I released my first. Actually, eeks, early 50s. Released my first record, and I was very fortunate to have. There's a producer named Lloyd Maines who has produced like every legendary artist who's come out of the Texas Americana country scene, and he's an amazing artist himself, multi-instrumentalist. I was very fortunate that he agreed to work with me to produce that record, and most of the record, and including this new record as well, he produced that one. He's really good at working with an artist like me, an independent artist with a very limited budget, and so most of the record is just me and Lloyd playing on these songs, and on a couple of songs he'd bring in another artist, and there's a guy named Dennis Ludeker, who is also just an amazing fiddle player, mandolin player, and guitar player. And he played the fiddle and mandolin on a couple of songs on each of those two records. And on that song I just played just now, he threw in as a bonus, and that little finger-picking solo thing that I do, in place of that, if you listen to the record, he's got just this amazing acoustic guitar solo on that just blew me away when I heard what he did with that. But it's an honor to get to work with, people of that caliber. And speaking of people of that caliber, I don't know if you guys noticed, next weekend, the artist who's performing here is a woman named Eliza Gilkison, who's, I've been a huge fan of Eliza. She also came out of Austin, and her brother Tony Gilkison, amazing artist. Of course, their father, a famous LA songwriter. Before our son was born, I remember going around and, seeing Eliza play in all these cool little places around Austin, and so I thought, I'm getting to, quote unquote, share the stage a week apart with Eliza Gilkison. I'm going to play an Eliza Gilkison song. So apologies in advance for those of you who are coming next week, and if she plays that song, just remember it's like, okay, that was the Lynn version. Will not compare to what Eliza can do, but I just love the song. And to me, I think it's also just a great Southern California kind of song too. It's called Beauty Way. Father made a pretty damn good living playing music on the Beauty Way. He's gonna die with some money in his pocket. Wish I could do the same today, little darling. Wish I could do the same today. A doe-eyed kid with a little transistor tuned into Wolfman Jack. I picked up the guitar, heard the sirens whisper, and I never looked back, little darling, and I never looked back. I worked the clubs along the Sangre de Cristo, polished a diamond in the rough. By the time I hit LA, I was hotter than a pistol. But you're never hot enough, little darling, you're never really hot enough. I felt the lights on the big, big stages, fire burning in my soul. I had those nights when my guitar was raging, but it's not something you control, little darling. It's not something you control. Red-tail diving for a ride on Sunset, coyote picking through the trash. I wish I was lying like a cat in the sun, instead of working like a dog for the cash, little darling. I'm only working for the cash. Sometimes I wish I could unplug this cord, and my soul or my money I would save. But every time I think I'm gonna quit the Beauty Way, but my bones just turning in their grave, little darling, bones turning in their grave. father made a pretty damn good living, playing music on a beauty way. He's gonna die with some money in his pocket. Wish I could do the same today, little darling. Wish I could do the same today. Oh. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's just an amazing song of hers. Of course, she has so many more. That was one of her hits, though. Might have been on the album that she won a Grammy for in the folk category. But don't tell her I played harmonica on it if y'all are here at the show next. Well, I mentioned I come back and forth here a lot. I was just out here in July, and on July 4th, I was with my family at a Dodgers game, and the Dodgers are playing the Astros, and we're just having the time of our lives. And I didn't realize that, like, back home in Central Texas, there was this just monumental flooding taking place. One of the several 500-year floods that we've had in the last 10, 15 years in Central Texas. And I used to be a real avid or even sort of fanatical kayaker when I was a little younger, and I would look forward to like those floods, not to go like at peak flood stage, but there's only real white water in Central Texas when these creeks and rivers are kind of flowing close to flood stage. And so I'd get out there and try my hand at some white water, and taught some friends how to roll and come along with me on some of these what turned out to be sometimes almost ill-fated trips. And after our son was born, and he's a couple of years old, and I was still doing that kind of stuff, and I had a really close call on one of the rivers I was running at flood stage, and I just felt so stupid for taking those kinds of chances. And because during that same flood, there was a much more experienced kayaker than me, a local firefighter who passed away in one of the spots that I used to run. So that really kind of hit me, and I wrote this song. It's called Dam Number 6. The sun is high in that July Texas sky. It's been raining for days, even farmers ask why. It's been something like he's never seen, but he's watching the gauges, he knows what it means. How can he tell them he doesn't feel the same? Just doesn't feel the same since his son's come his way. 'Cause now he's a father like he's never had one. Just doesn't seem right to risk it all for some fun. But how many times that old creek does it rise? He spent so many times now walking in dry. Well, I guess it all started in the 98 flood, walking down to the creek, rocky clear and no mud. The water cut the rocks through the canyon so close that living in the city, landlocked sirens still spoke. He bought his first kayak, soon had 4, 3 for the rivers, 1 for the Gulf Shore. Well, the day it was fine when they drove from the ridge, with the water washing over the Lost Creek Bridge. But this ain't the first time he's run this creek. He's done it alone, hung over, no sleep. And that July day didn't seem so strange. They launched off the bridge in the white water rage. And soon they had made it to the first big drop. The water was high, but they always stopped stop to scout for the line through the slot that took you up the middle and over the top. They scouted it right before he paddled away upstream for the speed that he knew it would take to shoot him out right over the hole, feeling big as the sky over the Gulf of Mexico. Well, of course he was first, though with nothing to prove. No one saw any fear in his strokes, they were smooth. He paddled that drop like he'd just been dared, but the creek just held him like it never cared. And his friends, they were searching after, screaming and calling and calling and calling in shocked disbelief, till the volunteer rescue found him in a tree strained under the water, a mile from the scene. His paddle was gone, along with his boat had flowed out to the river, to the Gulf of Mexico. On and on and on it goes, on and on this river I flow. Oh, thank you so much, and apologies for the bummer song about a creek, deadly creek accident. But, you can't get more folk than that, right? This next song is off my previous record, but I wrote it several years ago. Just thinking back on before we moved to Texas. I was born in Arkansas. We moved to Texas when I was really small, like 7 years old. But my most prominent memory of Arkansas was my parents got divorced, and we lived in a little town outside of Little Rock, pretty good ways out there in farm country, and just constantly, this is the 70s, and there was no like paying your child support online. It was drive to town to go collect the child support from dad, in the parking lot of a bar or something. And those memories, I kind of didn't think about those so much in my adult life. When my mom passed away, those memories just kind of came flooding back, and this song came out of that. It's got probably one of the most oddly titled songs. The song is called Child Support Trips. Sitting on the front porch, all alone, it's too late to get someone on the phone. So I think I'll write a song about way back when, maybe something about an old car, tires are wearing thin. On a monthly trip to see dear old dad, the child support is late and mom is mad. 90 miles of dark fields hiding all around, the heat coming from the motor and the windows all rolled down. But it's cooler in the car than our place back in town. The windows all are open and our hair blows around, crossing our fingers we won't break down this time. Playing in the shadows of the dashboard lights, sitting on the front seat, my sister, mom, and me. My two other sisters are in the back seat, laying down. The windows all are open, and our hair blows around. The windows all are open, and our hair blows around. It's not the stuff you think about all that much in your 20s and your 30s when you're moving up. But now I've got my own son. I've got an old car too. Some nights we get out on the highway to see what it'll do. But my son will never know that much about that kind of life. And I guess I'll never know if that's wrong or right. As I watch him in the shadows of the dashboard lights. The windows all are open and our hair blows up around. I'm sitting on the front porch feeling all alone. It's too late to get someone on the phone. So I think I'll write a song about way back when. Maybe something about an old car. Tires are wearing thin. Oh, thank y'all so much. Yeah, speaking of the amazing fiddle and mandolin player I mentioned, who played on both of my records, Dennis Ludiker, man, his fiddle and mandolin on that song just made me cry. All right, well, let's get back to California then. And this is a song also off of the previous record that I wrote about a busker, a street musician out on the Santa Monica Pier. It's called Stay a While. California's fun this time of year. I can get the best spot on the pier. Tattooed girls go by. Sometimes they smile or even laugh, dance and stay a while. Stay a while. I'll play a song I think they'll know. Then I'll try to work in my own song. If I tell a joke, will they stop and smoke? Or even laugh, dance and stay a while. Stay a while. Jerry has a way to make them smile. I haven't seen him out here for a new guy took his place since the holiday. I wonder if he's gonna stay a while. Stay a while. Crowd is is thinning now, the night air's cold, but I'm in no hurry to be alone. I'm looking for a smile, some eyes to meet with mine, 'cause that can be enough to stay a while, stay a while. California's fun this time of year. I've got the best spot on the pier. Oh, thank you so much. Well, my greatest honor in making this last record was, I've mentioned my son in a song or two already tonight. My son's a really good artist, really good musician. He stays in the music business side of things because he's smart. He wants to live in Los Angeles and knows that, you know, it certainly isn't in folk music if you want to earn a livable wage. But I got him to fly into Austin and play piano with me on this last record, and he's in the audience tonight. And the cool thing is like we didn't plan. We got here and I was like, "Hey, there's a piano. Carter, would you like?" And like, we did some last minute band practice during sound check, and like, yeah, let's do the song. So I would love to invite Carter Crossett up to the stage to play this song with me. And this is a song that kind of came directly out of all the back and forth that I do between Central Texas and Los Angeles, because I, spend a lot of time in airports and spend a fair amount of time in airport bars, and those are great for people watching. And so out of that, I wrote this song called "Could Have Been the Wine," and it's going to feature Mr. Carter Crossett on the piano. Could have been the wine, could have been a memory, could have been 1,000 things to catch your eye. Could have been the time when you were 17, when you were 33, could have been tonight. I don't want to leave here not knowing what in the world's come over me. After all this time, I'm leaving it all behind. It's all the same to me. You say Denver's not as cold as I think. How much was that drink? That's a lot. I said Austin might be the place to be. One time it was for me. It isn't tonight. I don't want to leave here not knowing. I don't want to take you back with me. After all this time, I'm leaving it all behind. It's all the same to me. Carter. Time for one more drink. Or what do you think? They're boarding on time. Denver sounds nice. I'm glad you sat down here. Here's to the grandest year. A heartfelt goodbye. I don't want to leave here, not knowing I'll take nothing but a memory. After all this time, leaving it all behind, it's all the same. It's all the same to me. Could have been the wine, could have been a memory, could have been 1,000 things. It turned out just right. Yeah. Yay, Carter. Thank you so much. Take a bow. Well, now it's just me, you know? I don't know what to follow that with. Better look at my song list here and see what's a good song to play. Well, I don't know if this qualifies, but it'll work. He lit a cigarette under his shirt, headlong in the wind. Miles between and miles to go, he won't be back again. Serpentine and turpentine, he sure could use a friend. At 17 in summertime, there's time to make amends. Autumn to August, is that all we need? After all this talk of life's brevity, pastures plenty full of hope high upon the plains. Thoughts of cities far away pull tighter on the reins. 1,440 minutes are all in a day. 500,000 more to go before we're back this way. Autumn to August, to get what we need. After all this talk of the shortest of scenes of urgency. Cigarette under his shirt, headlong in the wind. Miles between and miles to go, to look back on again. At 17 in summertime, there's time to make amends. Miles between and miles to go, that won't be back again. Autumn to August, well, that's all we need. After all this talk of the shortest of scenes dreams of urgency, life's brevity. That's all fantasy, all fantasy, all fantasy. He lit a cigarette under the shirt, headlong in the wind. Thank you. Had to get that consonant in there at the end. So that's the title track to my new album, On Autumn to August. And I was talking to some nice folks just before the beginning of the show, and we were talking about REM, actually REM in the 80s, and they were a huge influence on me, and especially in my teens and college years and throughout my 20s. And I felt like when I wrote that song, you could either call it an homage to REM or just totally ripping off the sound of REM. All right, here's another song from the new record. It's called Same Old Shoes. Polished and bright for Saturday night. If you count the years, it doesn't work out right. Till you find something you're terrified to lose. You could spend a lifetime in the same old shoes. A warming sun fingers through his hair. He feels the touch like she's almost there. Buzzing alarm, you can't hit snooze. Gotta get out of bed, wear the same old shoes. All day long, all he needs, walking around the autumn leaves. All day long, you won't break through his weathered soul or these worn out shoes. Everybody's there, smiling faces in the air. All night long, like nothing to lose, they're dancing around in their brand new shoes. All day long, all he needs, walking around the autumn leaves. All day long, you can't break through his weathered soul or these same old shoes. All day long he thinks of all the miles caught up with me. All day long like yesterday's news, just walking around in the same old shoes. A weathered soul in the same old shoes. Oh, thank you so much. All right, I think I'm going to do another new. This is a very new song. It's also kind of a road trip song. It's called Bet It All Away. running from the desert sun to catch the mountains when the evening comes alive, and onward through the night. I'll be driving all night long, winding roads and singing songs alone, and always alone. Bet it all away on a brand new day, when I can make it right and be with you tonight. You'd have asked me long ago to describe the road I'm on. I think I called it right. There's a shadow all night long, the waning full moon casts a stone cold light on all the hills tonight. Bet it all away on a better day, all to make it right, be with you tonight. And I won't have to wait for everything to be just right. Finally learned that's the way to sleep alone at night. Take it, Lynn. The sailor's moon always casts a spell, like a youthful wishing well of light on highway signs at night. I can see you in the hills, now I can see us dancing still that night in my sister's car's headlights. We'll bet it all away like we did that day. I've gotta make it right to be with you tonight. I'll stay with you tonight. Oh, thank you. I mentioned at the outset how much I just love this venue. There are not that many truly like listening room type venues around in the country, and it's a real treat, especially when you're a solo artist and you really want to, focus on the lyrics. So it's a real honor to have you all here. Thank you so much for, buying a ticket and coming out to the show. And of course, thank you. Another really cool thing is I loved when I saw the write-up that Ojai Underground did for the show on the website. Like, yeah, it's a beautiful little write-up, and there was a reference in there to Leonard Cohen, something about, my music was like Leonard Cohen meets the West Texas wind. And I was like, I'll take it. Certainly, truly admire Leonard Cohen as a songwriter. And so I'm going to play it, I'm going to give you truth in advertising. I don't know if I'm, like Leonard Cohen meets the West Texas wind, but I'm going to play you a Leonard Cohen song. Sentence me to 20 years of boredom trying to change the system from within. I'm coming now, I'm coming to reward them. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. I'm guided by a signal in the heavens. I'm guided by this birthmark on my skin. I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. I'd really like to live beside you, baby. Love your body, your spirit, and your clothes. But you see that line now moving through the station. I told you, I told you, I told you, I was one of those. Oh, you loved me as a loser, but now you're worried I just might win. You know the way to stop me, but you don't have the discipline. How many nights I prayed for this to let my work begin. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. I don't like your fashion business, mister. I don't like these drugs that keep you thin. I don't like what happened to my sister. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. I'd really like to live beside you, baby. I love your body, and your spirit, and your clothes. But you see the line now moving through the station. I told you, I told you, I told you, I was one of those. Did I thank you for those items that you sent me? The monkey and the plywood violin. I've practiced every night and now I'm ready. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. Oh, remember me, I used to live for music. Remember me, I brought your groceries in. But now it's Father's Day and everybody's wounded. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. First, we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. Oh, thank you so much. Good, we're still doing good on time, so I'm going to play several more songs for you guys, if that's all right. You guys still having a good time? And oh, okay. Absolutely. Happy to do that. So this is a song off of my last record called Warren and Whitney. Warren and Whitney don't know what to do. Summertime's ending, as summertimes do. If hope is not knowing, if all hope is gone, Warren and Whitney don't want to go home. Snuck out their windows all summer long. They egged people's houses, they TP'd some lawns. They rode to the river by the Indian moon, and they came back by daylight, and then Warren and Whitney were sleeping past noon, hoping the night time comes around soon. A million distractions, but nothing to do. Warren and Whitney by the light of the moon. The smell of magnolias, the lawnmower tracks, the row of dark houses. They slipped out the back, their butterfly stomachs, their dark summer tans. They knew for certain that Warren and Whitney would always be friends. But what's good for taking is taking a chance. Gather ye rosebuds while summer's in bloom. Warren and Whitney by the light of the moon. Now Warren and Whitney, they don't know what to do. That little strip of paper, the image turned blue. And hold on to summer until summer turns through. Warren and Whitney by the light of the moon. Warren and Whitney will be coming home soon. Oh, thank you so much, and thank you so much for that request. It's wonderful to, be in a different town and for someone to know your music and request a song. Well, I've, kind of featured my son tonight, but I haven't said anything about my wife, who's also here in this audience and part of my road crew. We had a big anniversary not too long ago, and this song came out of that, and it's called This Great Big Ride. And if you're so inclined, no pressure whatsoever, but it is a very dark room. I can't see you. Anyway, but if you feel like singing along, there's a sing-along part at the end of the song where we'll sing This Great Big Ride. It's a really simple song, and you'll pick up on it when it gets to that part. But it's it sounds so much better with an in-tune guitar, though. That was the one. All right, so if you are so inclined, for the end of the song, there'll be a part where it goes, this great big ride, this great big ride, this great big ride. See? This great big ride. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know if the race is already run, but I just know I want to stay by your side, holding on to this great big ride. High, 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 now, like I loved you then. We've always stayed the best of friends. I watched you now, moving slower this morning. The moon shines bright through the window up the stairs. And there'll come a time when we won't have these subtle moments, but in our son's eyes we will both always be there. I don't know where we're going to, I just know we've spent all this time making something like the highway stripes. You don't pass through the solid line. Okay, here comes y'all's part, if you're ready. This great big ride, yeah. This great big ride, yeah. This great big ride. Keep it going. This great big ride. Louder. This great big ride. One more time. This great big ride. And big finish. This great big ride. Yeah. So again, since this is such a nice listening room environment, I'm going to play one of my kind of epic folk songs. You're forewarned, so if you need a bathroom break ahead of time, a drink. This is based on a true story. This book that I read called The Ship in the Storm, about this company that would kind of operate on the outskirts of the law, operating these cruise ships in the Caribbean. They'd focus on the Western Caribbean, and buy these ancient, like, tall sailing ships and fix them up and modernize them, and called the Windjammer Cruise Line, and market it as an alternative to your traditional kind of cruise. And there's a pretty compelling story about what happened in the 90s during this hurricane, called Hurricane Mitch, with one of their young upstart captains, because they'd hire a lot of people from these countries that were really, really poor, because they could hire them really, really cheap, and some very, very hard workers, and worked so hard. And this one guy, really worked his way up the rank to become the captain of this ship, and wanted to do everything he possibly could to save this ship from the hurricane, because one of the sort of sketchy things about the company is they didn't have insurance. Like, if they lost this ship, they're done. So here's a song called "Down to the Sea," and it's one of the last songs on my current record. The ship set sail under October skies to frolic by day and sail through the night. A week-long sail in the Caribbean Sea, and the flagship of the fleet, a schooner 300 feet. The last of the tall ships at his young command, he rose through the ranks like a company man. To sail for a living is living a dream, with 4 bars on his sleeve. A captain at 33. He never saw such a beautiful sight as that tall ship sailing through red skies at night. Topsails blowing, a sailor's delight. The wind was following. The wind was following. The people come on this Caribbean cruise for a sense of the past and a taste of the booze. The cost of one ticket paid the crew for a week. The rum was flowing free. Just one big family. When they started out east and they sailed to the west, they'd sail through the nights and the days they would rest. The passengers slept while the ship was underway, awakened for the day. A new place every day. And he never saw such a beautiful sight as that tall ship sailing through red skies at night. Topsails blowing, a sailor's delight. The wind was following. The wind was following. But that tropical wind turned into a wave that quickly became a storm with a name that forecasts all said was still days away. Far to their southeast, there was time to sail to Belize, to unload the passengers and fly them away out of the path of a Cat 5 hurricane, then turn back to sea with a crew of 31 and try to outrun the storm. There's no shelter on this leeward shore. But he never saw such a humbling sight when that afternoon sky turned black as the night. He'd run out of sea room, it turned to a fight to hide in an island's lee. But the storm was following. If the captain was scared, showed an area man as the radio signal went dead in his hand. And no one could have held her in that island's lee. It was time to turn back to sea in this game of hide and seek. So he turned to the south to sail her away, with no way of knowing the storm did the same. And he sailed right into the path of the beast. He said, my luck has caught up with me. My luck has caught up with me. And he never saw such a beautiful sight as that tall ship sailing through red skies at night. The wind and the waves and the cold moonlight as he came to his wife in a dream. She knew he'd gone down to the sea. She knew he'd gone down to the sea. She knew he'd gone down to the sea. Oh, thank you so much. Let's see, probably have time for maybe a couple more songs. Maybe I should lighten it up a little bit after another one of these folk songs that I played for you guys about somebody dying in a tragic accident. This one is fun little song I wrote. It's on my previous album about the summers I used to spend in Arkansas with my dad. There's a picture I would show off to all my Texas friends. My summer girl in Arkansas, they called a perfect 10. Feeling like the coolest kid, coolness in a jar. But leaving out the part where I threw up in your car. Do you remember me? When we were wild and free. The years fall down like rain. When I catch your memory again. We'd sneak down the alley behind your Grand Forks place, and I knew not to ask why you lived there anyway. Then you'd pick me up in your scary boyfriend's car. He looked like he was 30 for a high school football star. Do you remember me? When we were wild and free. The years fall down like rain. When I catch your memory again. Took me to the levee with a carload of your friends, but no one who was old enough to buy us any beer. I never minded all of us crammed in your back seat with a cold case of beer squeezed between my feet. You remember me when we were wild and free. The years fall down like rain when I catch your memory again. I don't think about you much, not that much at all. Just some teenage summers spent with Dad in Arkansas. I'm glad we never hung on for long distance calls. Spring turns into summer, when summer turns to fall. Will you remember me when we were wild and free? The years fall down like rain when I catch your memory again. When I catch your memory again. Oh, thank you so much. This one's the title track off my last record. It's called In the Company of a Song. It's the name that's on the t-shirts for sale out front, but there's Lynn Crossett, In the Company of a Song. No one left in Pacific to call tonight. I'm sitting here in Central past midnight. Got a friend on the East Coast, but it's too late to call tonight. So I'm sitting here in the company of moonlight. There's one bar still open in this town, and I could saddle up and ride on down. I don't feel much like talking to people I don't know, so I'm sitting here in the company of a song. And there's a bottle on the table, cold beer and warm bed, wealth of conversation set to music in my head. So I'll wait for the day. peace and quiet tonight. They say in the end it works out right. But I don't know the first thing about living all alone, so I'm sitting here in the company of a song. I'm sitting here in the company of a song, and I'll wait for the day to call you back. Oh, thank you so much. This really has just been a wonderful night, a real treat for me to come out here to this beautiful town and have a wonderful listening audience like this. And I just want to thank Cassidy again for arranging all of this. Bernie Larson, legendary Bernie Larson, for making all of this, making me sound as good as I can possibly sound, probably. And I just want to thank all of you so much. And Olivia, is that the daughter? Yes. And wonderful Olivia as well. And my road crew, Sherry and Carter. I came a long way. Hauled a lot of gear for this solo artist here, harmonica, guitar. So instead of like me going off the stage and you guys going, well, do we want to do an encore or not? I'll skip that, and this will be my encore, if that's okay with you guys. And this is a new song, unreleased song, unrecorded song. It's probably another one of those sort of reflective folk songs. It's called Until It's Over. And thank you so much, everyone, for staying until it's over, to the very end. And hope I get a chance to meet some of you guys all after the show. I'll go out front. And I shouldn't have tried to hawk T-shirts a minute ago when I was pointing out the T-shirts out there, because I only have a few sizes left. I'm just about sold out. But if I happen to have your size, please come and get a T-shirt. And I've got CDs for sale. But mainly, I'd just love to say hello to you guys. So I'll be out front once this is over. Again, thank you all so much. I've been walking crooked in a straight line towards something that I thought I'd never see. After many careful years, I'm still living here, hiding out inside a world of dreams. I feel like I walked in on the third act, and I don't really understand the scene. Guy sits in the bar, and a flashback full montage makes him discover all he'll ever need. We all just want to be the person in the scene who ends up with all he's ever dreamed. I just want to stay till it's over, read every single credit on the screen, fighting back the tears, cemetery years, waiting for the world to notice me. I'm grinding through the gears as I'm getting on in years, hoping for the world. I can still see my reflection in every single childhood memory. counting up the years and losses of my peers, still waiting on the world. I just want to stay till it's over, do something that the world has never seen, and finally learn to be just what I want to be, not waiting on the world to notice me. I'm still grinding through the gears as I'm getting on in years, but maybe this is all just me. Thank you all so much. This was truly my honor, my pleasure. So thank you all so much. Have a great night. I hope I get a chance to meet some of you guys out front shortly. Thanks.